In the kingdom of Iron, peace had lasted many years, but one thing remained unsettled. The throne had no queen. King Adwal raises his staff.
I am ready to marry.
The courtyard murmurs. One of the chiefs said with a relieved voice, "At last, your majesty." King Adwal continues,
"But I will not choose the most beautiful. I will not choose the richest. I will not choose the most praised."
Silence falls. King Adwal said,
"I will marry the girl in this kingdom who is known for the worst character."
The king's words spread faster than Hamatan fire. A woman amongst the crowd said, "Worst character? Does he mean Amara?" A man replied, "Of course it is Amara. Who else?" Another woman responded, "That stubborn girl who never smiles." Her name was Amara. The girl no one visited. The girl no one defended. The girl they all misunderstood. Child whispers to another, "That's her." They run away. Amara keeps walking, unfazed. At the village well area, a woman with a mocking voice said, "You think you're better than us?" Amara replied calmly, "I did not say that." Another woman attacked immediately, saying, "You never greet properly." Amara responded, "I greet with respect." The woman scoffed, "Arrogant." In a village where laughter meant belonging, silence was treated as rebellion. Every night, when the village slept, Amara went somewhere no one followed. We could see an elderly widow with kids. The elderly widow with a weak voice asked, "Child, why do you endure the hatred?" Amara softly replied, "Because if I explain, they will not believe me." Widow said, "Then let God defend you." Amara smiles faintly. King Adwal is seen seated with chiefs in private council room. One of the chiefs asked, "Your Majesty, the worst character truly belongs to that girl. She is cold, disrespectful."
"Have you seen her wickedness yourself?"
The chief hesitates. "No, but the people agree." King's eyes narrow. A wise ruler fears one thing, a crowd that agrees too quickly. King Adwal stands and says,
"I will see this girl myself."
King Adwale decided to be disguised in a simple brown traveler clothes, no royal beads. The next morning, the king left the palace, not as a ruler, but as a stranger. He watches from distance as Amara walks with basket, and then he saw the truth. The king whispered to himself, "So this is her wickedness." He watches as she cleans the widow's wound carefully. The widow said to Amara calmly, "You will miss your own meals again." Amara replied, "You need it more." King's face softens with a smile and left. The next day, the rumors grew louder, and this time they wanted her publicly shamed. A village elder screamed, "Amara, step forward." Amara steps calmly into the circle. The first woman pointed out, "You sneak out every night." The next man followed, "You avoid gatherings." Another woman said, "You think we are beneath you." Amara replied with a steady voice, "I avoid no one." Another man snapped immediately with, "Then why do you act like you are different?" Amara, "I act like myself." Crowd murmurs angrily. The king stood among them, listening. Disguised king stepping forward said, "If she is wicked, let her answer this." Crowd quiets. Disguised king said to her, "If this village rejects you, why remain here?" Amara looks at him calmly. Amara, "Because my pain does not give me permission to abandon my responsibility." Crowd confused. A man said, "What responsibility?" Amara replied, "The widow who cannot walk." Gasps rippled through crowd. A woman asked, "What widow?" Amara replied, "The one whose son died last year, the one you stopped visiting." Silence. The king watches their faces change, and then the traveler removed his hood. King Adwal stands tall. Crowd gasps. All kneel instantly. Village elder screamed, "Your Majesty." Amara's eyes widen. King Adwal said with a firm voice, I have watched this woman, not for 1 hour, not for 1 day, but long enough to see what you refuse to see. He turns to crowd. You call her proud, yet she serves when you sleep. You call her wicked, yet she heals the woman you abandoned. Villagers lower their heads in shame. Later that evening, she stood before him alone. King Adwal said, Why did you never defend yourself? Amara replied, Because people rarely listen when they have already decided who you are. King said, You knew they hated you. Amara replied, Yes. King asked her, And you stayed? Amara replied, Yes. King studies her. King asked, Do you resent them? Amara said, I was hurt, but resentment would make me what they already believe I am. The king's expression softens deeply. King Adwal said to her, When I stood before my kingdom yesterday, I made a declaration. Amara replied, Yes, your majesty. King then said, I said I would marry the girl known for the worst character. Amara's breathing slows. King continues, I now know the truth and I will not change my words. Amara said, You mean? King Adwal asked, Amara, will you become my queen? Silence fills the chamber. Amara looks stunned. She had been rejected her whole life. Now she was being chosen by a king. Amara whispering to herself, If I accept, they will say I trapped him. If I refuse, I remain safe. She remembers the villagers' insults. Amara asked herself, Can I lead people who despise me? King Adwal standing waiting calmly. Amara walking toward him confidently. Amara with a steady voice said, Your Majesty, I will accept. King asked, Because I am king? Amara responded, No. And she looks at him in the eye and said, Because you saw me when I was unseen. King smiles faintly. At the village square, angry villagers could be seen arguing loudly after hearing engagement announcement. A man said, This is a mistake. A woman screamed, She will punish us as queen. The village elder responded, Or perhaps she will remember our cruelty. Amara is seen standing before villagers confidently but calmly. Simple attire still. Villagers gathered in silence. Amara said to them, I will not punish you. Crowd surprised. She continued, You judged me without asking. You rejected me without knowing. But I will not lead you with bitterness. Woman with a tearful voice asked, Why? Amara said, Because leadership without forgiveness becomes revenge. Silence spreads. A grand Yoruba royal wedding ceremony happening. And so, the girl they called Wicked became the queen they needed. King Adewale and Queen Amara standing side by side overlooking the kingdom peacefully. King Adewale asked his wife, Do you regret staying? Queen Amara smiles gently and said, No, if I had left, you would have married a lie. King chuckles softly. Sometimes, the one the world misunderstands is the one strong enough to lead it. Character is not defined by rumors. It is revealed by what you do when no one is watching. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to StoryBloom for more interesting stories. See you in the next one.